The trend right now is Saudi Arabia. I keep hearing Saudi Arabia agents, managers, publicists, celebrities themselves.
Okay.
The buzz is Saudi.
Hello and welcome to the Mayman Show. We are coming to you from our studios in Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And our guest today is visiting the kingdom, and he is a star maker, a dream maker, a media consultant who owns his own agency called Fame. We have Mr. Sheeraz Hasan. Thank you for taking the time to being in our studio.
Love it, brother. Love
Yeah.
the energy, love the vibe. Congratulations
Yeah.
on your career,
Well, thanks a
on
lot,
your
man.
platform. And I've heard a lot about great things about you and the show.
Yeah.
And me being here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I keep hearing it in Hollywood.
hmm
Keep hearing it and hearing it. So let's chat, man. I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in Hollywood said you got to stop by the studio, right?
Yeah, this
If,
is the
if you're
spot,
going to be in
man.
Riyadh. Yeah,
This
this
is
is
the
the
spot.
spot.
You come to Riyadh, you want to make some noise in Saudi?
Yeah,
Mayman show.
exactly. So the host, being the rowdy Saudi who likes to say howdy, is going to ask his guest, "What brings you to the kingdom? What's your interest right now?"
So I have a very big media company,
Mhm.
okay, based in Los Angeles. I've been to Saudi Arabia many times
All right,
for pilgrimage.
cool.
And all of my clients, I'm one of the biggest fame strategists in the world
hmm
who has built careers from Kim Kardashian. I was media strategist for 10 years, Logan Paul's for a decade, Zendaya's for a decade, and many, many more stars.
Yeah.
And the trend right now is Saudi Arabia. I keep hearing Saudi Arabia agents, managers, publicists, celebrities themselves.
Okay.
The buzz is Saudi. So I'm out here right now. I've been invited by a lot of good people out here in the region. And one of the other reasons is yourself, because I'm a power. This microphone becomes very powerful, brother. I've been in
Yeah.
the game for 20 years and you're very, in veteran in the journalism game.
Uh,
And this is what makes people famous.
yeah.
It's the microphone. So I'm honored to be here. I'm excited
mhm,
because people that watch me and follow me are some of the most famous people in the world,
Yeah.
and it's time for fame to educate Hollywood the
Right.
beauty of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Okay. I mean, and you're very familiar with this region. You've done a lot of activations in our in our neighboring country in the UAE.
Mm.
You've done some work with Kim Kardashian, Logan Paul. Uh, Tell us a little bit about these endeavors, first of all, and what made you see the potential of expanding this reach to here in the kingdom.
Yeah. So back in 2004 was
Yep.
my first trip to Dubai.
Mhm.
Saw it's growing. I liked the culture, I liked everything about Dubai,
Mhm.
but I wanted to disrupt Dubai.
Okay.
So later on,
Yeah.
I'm known as the mall disruptor.
Really?
If you want hundreds of thousands of people, fans showing up at your mall, you call
Okay. Makes
Shiraz.
two of us. I mean, I'm the communications disruptor
Disruptor, I love
here.
it, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get a message out.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
I did an activation with Kim Kardashian.
All right.
250,000 fans showed up to the Dubai Mall, shut it down. Logan Paul, probably around 300,000 people showed up for that. Zendaya,
Yeah.
150,000.
Wow.
So, and I've done JLo as well, in Qatar. I've done Kuwait. I've done all over, every mall in kind of the best ones in the region.
Okay.
So I know that, for me, when I hear so much about Saudi Arabia, for me, when you've got access to very influential people,
hmm
powerful people in the media that can spread that message and have a huge fan base, and some of the most watched, you know, videos and content on YouTube is coming from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So for me, it's very important. Really, it's more education.
Okay.
It's understanding what's happening now. I think the leaders,
All right.
the Crown Prince, I
hmm
think he's done a fantastic job
Yeah.
of how the whole kingdom is now so westernized. It's welcoming people from all over the world.
hmm
And I love when I think of Saudi, when I think of Riyadh and what's going on,
All right.
it's the new Hollywood.
Yeah.
This has become the new Hollywood, period, hands down.
Okay. And so what's the buzz in Hollywood? What's everybody saying about the Saudi market so far?
So first of all, I can tell you from past experiences that before you would never hear about it. It was
hmm
never even talked about. Now, because of the leadership of their vision of what they're doing in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
it's hitting the boardrooms of Netflix, Apple,
Yeah.
Disney, Hulu. biggest top agencies, companies, brands. The buzz right now in Hollywood right now
Okay.
is while the rest of the world is suffering, while Hollywood was on pause for almost 10 months, the entire industry in Hollywood was paused because of AI and all the new technologies.
Yes.
Before, first of all, when you promote Saudi Arabia or the Middle East, I remember back in the day when I was doing it in Dubai, I was getting so much resistance,
Hmm.
especially from the agents and the managers and so forth, the decision makers. Now the stars are telling their
Okay.
management, that stars are telling the agencies, I need to get out in Saudi Arabia because of the massive projects, the massive activations. You've had some of the biggest activations that have happened here in entertainment and sports
Yeah.
that have shocked the world.
Okay.
So if you're an artist and you're sitting in Hollywood
Mhm.
and you're having to watch this, you're calling up your manager or an agent and saying, "Listen, I need some action.
Yeah.
I got to come out
It's
here."
a game
So
changer. We're
it's
doing the largest electric music gathering in the region,
yeah,
largest sporting events, music, even movie
mm,
world premieres are happening here in the kingdom. It's
mm,
it's a complete shift.
mm.
So how does this potential, or at least the beginning of this shift, make Saudi a lucrative place to invest when it comes to
Yeah.
entertainment?
I can tell you now because of the mega projects that are happening
Yeah.
and the talent that's already been here now. So, what is that showing you? You can have a beautiful time,
Yeah.
it's safe,
Yes.
you can make money,
Hmm.
and there's opportunity to make money.
Hmm.
So, when you see all of this right now, you ain't getting that in the States.
Yeah.
Believe me, brother, I live in Beverly Hills and
Hmm.
I'm always worried to go out.
Yeah.
You can see, hey, I should be wearing a watch, but I'm
Yeah.
so used to not wearing a watch in LA that it's not safe. So when you see here, the business opportunity right now is the buzz is organic, right? People are talking about it. The word of mouth is out there.
Yeah.
And when you're having some of the top female talent, influencers and so forth that are talking about it, then of course brands want to come here,
Yeah.
companies want to come here. You're talking about a 40 plus million market that is such a fantastic market. They buy, they spend. So if you're a brand
Hmm.
and you're seeing that the Western world now is focusing on here,
Yeah.
then from someone for like my business is I have a whole team that's specifically dedicated
Hmm.
to Saudi opportunities
All right.
because clients come to me, they say, I have a brand. How do I break that market?
Okay.
I can plug that in. If I'm a talent, how do I perform there? How do I, create content there? How do I do shows there? How do I be a part of all of this exciting,
Hmm. The
opportunities happening?
renaissance happening through Vision 2030.
Yeah,
At least that's what I like to
yeah,
call
no,
it, the
and
renaissance.
why I like it
Yeah.
is I've never met the Crown Prince MBS,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna meet him
Okay.
because it's one of my goals. Because at the end of the day, what this man and his team and his country has done, and I've been in Hollywood for over 2 decades,
Hmm.
he's created history. Single handedly, he's created history
Yeah.
and made a massive disruptive news and noise that we don't need you.
Hmm.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
We have everything here. And
Mhm.
I've been in boardrooms in some of the most powerful people in Hollywood
Yeah.
are sitting there worried that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, MBS, basically, we need him. He
Yeah.
doesn't need us.
Yeah.
And that vision, I get excited by it when someone has a vision like that because I disrupt. And when I
Okay.
hear someone, and I'm sitting in a boardroom, whether it's Netflix or Disney, all the big boys are sitting there,
Yes.
and they're thinking, "Hold on a minute, Saudi Arabia is like Uber, and Hollywood's like, the taxi." You know
Yes.
what I mean? Or it's like Blockbusters versus Netflix.
Yeah.
What the Crown Prince has done, he's changed the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, for to quote one of my guests, it was a matter of Saudi wanting a seat on the table for a lot of these industries, to a point where we created our own table. Now we're inviting people
I
instead.
know
Yeah.
they're coming.
Yeah. Exactly. So we didn't need a seat on their table. We created our own table.
And I think what the Crown Prince has done, there's too much FOMO.
Yeah.
The man, I love him. I love him. He's
All
Mr.
right.
FOMO. He
Yeah.
creates so much excitement
Uh-huh.
on the vision of building this, doing this, big announcements. Bro, I've been in boardrooms and Hollywood are like flicking their thing, thinking, OMG, what is
Yeah.
going on here? We are totally missing the boat here. We got to get on.
All right. And you've done work on a national level. So living in LA, you've done a lot of work to promote investment, trade, for LA. And you were even recognized by the mayor for these efforts. Tell us a little bit about that time and just what key takeaway you had from that experience.
So, well, when I first started my career in Los Angeles, I
Hmm.
focused on Bollywood
All right,
and the Middle East.
cool.
Back then, imagine you're on the red carpet, says India,
Hmm.
says Middle East. I
Correct.
wasn't getting the interviews, I wasn't getting any of the content,
Hmm.
but I worked very hard, and I'm a guy that understands perseverance. And
Okay.
I kept on pushing that
I love
message,
perseverance. That's
yeah,
like my favorite word.
pushing, pushing, pushing. And in the end, by the grace of God, I became the guy for the Eastern world, right,
Yeah.
in Hollywood. So over the years, I'd built my credentials. I worked hard. I built those relationships, and then local government. From the mayor to the Congress, up to the president, I was
Hmm.
getting recognized because what I was doing was I was pretty much promoting Hollywood to the Middle East and to India and Asia. And
All right.
because of that, I was driving business. So what ended up happening is my media and entertainment company was then, turning into bringing business opportunities to the Western world.
Okay.
And then I basically single-handedly connected the bridge between Hollywood and Bollywood.
All right.
It wasn't being done back then.
Really.
And when I did that, yeah, I helped launch Ashwarya Rai,
Hmm.
one of the biggest Bollywood stars. I
Yeah.
helped break Priyanka Chopra,
Yeah. I was
from
just gonna
Bollywood
mention her
star.
name. I
Yeah,
love
so
Priyanka
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Chopra.
So when her manager came to me,
Hmm.
and I was doing all the disruptive media.
All right.
When you're looking for, when you're in Hollywood, you can't just promote. You can't just, release. You
Hmm.
need to go loud.
Yeah.
And being loud means you're going to call Fame by Shiraz, and I'm coming to disrupt. And I
Hmm.
make sure that everyone in the city knows. And
Yeah.
that's what I did with Priyanka. And we did it and did it and did it. Didn't stop. Got
Okay.
it, everyone annoyed, go so loud. And then bam, she landed
Like,
Quantico
all
with
right.
ABC. And then that was a game changer.
Okay. And did it take convincing in the beginning? I mean, obviously because it was never been done, so
Brother,
there was no
convincing.
benchmarking to
Bro, what
do.
are you talking about,
Yeah.
bro? The amount I would, first of all, they would sit there and say, Hollywood,
Yeah.
Bollywood,
Mm,
Shiraz, alphabet. It's
okay.
Hollywood. I said, no, it's Bollywood.
Bollywood.
It's Dubai. It's Middle East. It's
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia. And I can tell you the amount of no's
Hmm.
that I would get from some of the most powerful and influential people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
To this date, by the way, there's nobody,
Hmm.
nobody in Hollywood except our brand, Fame, that's promoting Middle East, Saudi, UAE specifically
Yeah.
on a consistent basis on the red carpet,
All
at
right.
events,
Okay.
asking questions, meeting people, opening the doors, because
Hmm.
Hollywood is a straight up relationship game.
Yeah.
It's all about who you know
Hmm.
in your network. So it was very difficult at the beginning. If it was somebody else,
Yeah.
they would have given up.
Exactly. I mean,
You know?
that's where I know where my next invitation to the Oscars is going to come
Yeah, of
from.
course, bro. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It's you have a platform.
Yeah.
When I sit here, I respect your brand.
All
I
right.
respect your microphone because it's people like yourself who
Mhm.
have experience, who are promoting and giving Saudi a great name.
Yeah.
That people like when I'm coming here, people who are going to watch this in my circle, it's
Mhm.
going to open up their eyes.
Yeah.
And you need a platform. Who is the person, who is the company, who is the artist, the star like yourself that can beam out to a
Yeah.
massive audience of 40 plus million people that love and respect you, and you influence them?
All right.
That ain't easy, bro. And
That's
today, with all this social media out there,
There's too much noise, right?
it's too busy.
It's very kind of you to call me a star. I kind of just refer to
Brother, I
myself as
respect the
a
microphone, my
as a
man.
storyteller.
No,
But
but bro,
another thing is, I'm not promoting Saudi. I'm just
yeah.
giving people a platform to tell the world what they experienced while in Saudi or while they're living in Saudi.
But guess what, brother? Your microphone, you have listeners, you
Yeah.
have people who watch.
Mhm.
So yes, the platform's there, but the
Yeah.
most important thing is you're educating people.
Okay.
And it's
Well,
important.
educating, I'll take that. Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I like to educate people. Let things sell itself. I don't
Of
need to sell
course.
nothing.
Yeah, of course. But at least you're letting us know.
Yeah. Well, let's tap into your expertise. You're a media consultant. You've worked, like you said, with Zendaya, Priyanka Chopra, Kim Kardashian, Logan Paul, Paris Hilton. These just to name a few. I like name dropping people.
Yeah.
So you've seen them in their highs, and you've seen some of them, I guess, when they're not at their peak. What advice do you have for those rising stars who have, like, let's say, a decline in popularity?
Yeah. So I can tell you one thing. Because I've become, a very powerful, and I say this humbly,
Hmm.
fame strategist,
Yeah.
because I've done it, I've seen it, and I've been there at the beginning when they're nobodies. I've
Okay.
seen them when the whole world knows them. Then I've seen how fame has changed them,
Okay.
and they've got crashed to the bottom.
Mhm.
Logan as
They
an example.
fizzle,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've listened. I've Kardashians. I could sit here for hours, brother. You
Mhm.
and me will have a proper series about the Kardashians.
Oh
But
god, yeah.
Logan, let's talk about Logan. First of all, when I brought Logan Paul, when I
Mhm.
was working with him in LA, building his career, it wasn't. He was okay, but he was slowly building. What's
Yep.
the one thing that he had?
Mhm.
Consistency. Okay, he would never stop filming. He would never stop putting out content.
Yeah.
Right. Then when I sat with him and his manager, I said, "Look, I'm going to take you to Dubai." He had never been. And I'll never forget that every single person in Dubai, when I asked them, I'm going to bring Logan Paul, one of my clients, I'm going to create the biggest meet and greet in the world. I was telling everybody, the
Yep.
amount of no's that I got
Mhm.
was unbelievable. Honestly, every single person said no, right?
Alright.
Finally, God bless Muhammad Alabar,
Mhm.
the founder CEO of Imar.
Okay.
He gave me the
The okay.
Shiraz,
Yeah. The blessing.
the blessing. He gave
Mm.
me the blessing, and everybody else was saying, no, it's not going to work. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
He's not. He's all about social media. He gave me. I've got to give him credit. He said, "You know what, Shiraz, go do your magic."
Mhm.
And I ended up shutting down his mall. Okay,
Alright.
became friends after that, and
Mhm.
because of that, Logan went so big. He done one wrong move in his career.
Yeah.
Okay, when he created that video in Japan.
Okay.
Okay, and I saw him go from a king drop down to being demonetized,
Mhm.
losing everything,
Yeah.
barely couldn't pay his rent. He lost everything. It
Okay.
literally happened overnight.
Alright.
And I was there with him, with his team. And what I can say to you, number one, is make sure whether
Mhm.
you're up or down, who's in your inner circle,
Yeah.
who's in your ear.
Exactly.
Who's the people that are pushing you, driving you, not the negative people, not the people who are going to put you down,
Mhm.
right? So guarding your inner circle is number one. It doesn't matter how big you are or how
Yeah.
humbled you become.
Mhm.
Who's in your proximity? Who's in your
Yes.
energy that's going to drive you? Then that team around you is gonna turn it around.
Yeah.
They're going to be with you energetically, and then you need a badass manager, strategist that's going to
Mhm.
lift you up and say, "This is the direction. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do." And that's what we did, and it was very tough. We turned it around, and I'll never forget
Yeah.
when he was at the most weakest point. He would look to me and say, "Shiraz, the whole world hates me,
Mhm.
but I'm going to be one of the most biggest entertainers in the world." And I
Yeah.
looked at him, he couldn't pay his rent. And
Mhm.
I said, "Not only that, brother," I said, "you're going to become the first social media billionaire. And you better start believing that."
Yeah.
This is when he couldn't pay his rent. The whole world hated him.
Mhm.
And we installed that in our belief system. That
Alright.
this guy's going to become a billionaire. He already had it in his mindset. He already had it. I'm going to come back. It's almost like the Rocky story, you know?
Yeah.
And he turned it around. But I
Yes.
can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that don't have that.
So
Either they've got the wrong people in their circle
yeah.
and then they'll never come up. That's
Okay.
why you see stars rise. If they crash and burn. You don't hear
Alright.
them again.
S
So you need to have that and then strong discipline. And who cares what the rest of the world thinks? There you see it. There's your vision. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, if you believe in something, nobody else has to believe it. It's your vision. Nobody is going to see that vision other than you. And what's your thoughts about Logan Paul's current run with the WWE
Bro,
right now?
he called this out, that he
Mhm.
wants to be, the number one entertainer,
Yeah.
and he's doing it.
Right.
What is he doing? He's entertaining.
One of the coolest things was the one of the shows that he did here in Riyadh when the WWE was in town was a video clip of him jumping off the top rope. It went viral.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's what he does, right? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
masterminds of creating the content, right? That
Yeah.
goes everywhere.
Hmm.
So, when I see him doing that now, and then how successful his drink is, Prime,
Yeah.
Between Kardashians and Logan, both became billionaires.
Yeah.
It's which, by the way, when you're in Hollywood, both Hollywood banned Kim
All
back in
right.
the day and Logan.
Yes.
Both of them lost their agencies,
Okay.
managements, and all that outside of the mum, Kim's mum, and they lost everything. Now today they're richer than any celebrity
Hmm.
combined,
I
right?
mean, they're
So
synonymous
yeah,
everywhere around the world. I
they're
mean,
an industry,
yeah.
right? So it takes that thick skin.
Hmm.
The amount of no's I got on Kim Kardashian, it was unbelievable,
Yeah.
and Kylie. People even look at Kylie Jenner.
Okay.
Every time I would say, "Oh, we're booking Kim. Here's Kendall. Here's Kylie." No, especially Kylie.
Yeah.
Kylie was the number one person that would get, "Nope, we don't want her."
Okay. No,
And today, look at her.
You'd be on
billionaire,
a waiting list just to book them.
of course, and now it come 2 million bucks just for a post on Instagram,
Yeah.
right?
So before we started recording, you've told me you mentioned Saudis are very very, very savvy on social media. One of the most popular
Mm,
content creators come from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What do you see the potential about Saudi talent, and what do you feel they need as someone who's following what kind of content that is being, you know, dispatched
yeah.
from the kingdom?
So first of all, the creativity is great. You've
Hmm.
got the audience. The one thing they're not doing,
Yeah.
okay, here in Saudi Arabia, and I highly recommend that they start doing it. Okay, if you're an influencer, you're a talent, you're an actor, whatever you want to do, go loud,
Hmm.
make noise. Don't follow the traditional way.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, don't be humble
Hmm.
right now. If you're from Saudi Arabia and you have influence in this market,
Yeah.
let the entire world know about
Or
it
create that influence.
and create it, but
Yeah.
also but go out there.
Hmm.
You've got to start hitting other countries, other touch points, other collaborations
Hmm.
with other influences in other countries, and become
Sort of like this
the
platform. I mean,
exactly what you're doing here.
we tore up the book of journalism when we started the show. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
we
yeah.
just said let's do a
And
show.
look, you've booked some massive guests,
Yeah.
right? And in the traditional way, it wouldn't normally happen,
Yeah.
right? So you've broken the mold,
Hmm.
right? You've done your own way. You're pushing boundaries.
Hmm.
You're associated with a platform that's 1975,
Yeah.
right? And now you're taking this to today's generation,
Yeah.
that are swiping on their phones that they're watching. So really, the advice I have to talent is go loud,
Hmm.
think international, don't think Saudi. The
Yeah.
whole world is watching you right now. Any video can go viral,
Hmm.
you know. S- Be creative, definitely go overseas as well.
All right.
Yes, you're in Saudi Arabia, but you've got a platform now to let the whole world know about
Yeah. I
Saudi
mean, it's
Arabia.
easy to go to reach the world right now.
Yeah.
It's not unstoppable.
And you can go viral
Hmm.
today, right?
Yes.
You can say the right question even right now.
Hmm.
If we were to say something, okay, it can go viral,
Yeah.
right? If you're pushing the boundaries, I know there are certain limits, right? But I think the talent is here for sure.
Okay.
Okay, you've got beautiful people in this country, you've got talented people in this country, but go loud. Do
Okay.
not be humble
Go loud
anymore.
and proud.
Loud
Right.
and proud, and
Yeah.
just don't stop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what you have to do. There's no other ways around it.
All right. And how did your upbringing, basically shape who you are and make you want to start fame?
Okay, so I'll tell you, it's this microphone in front of me.
Yeah.
That's why I respect the microphone.
Okay.
Because when I was 16 years old, my father passed away. It was
Yeah.
just me and my
God rest
mum
his
and my
soul.
brother
Loud.
running a restaurant business, like a sandwich bar in London.
Yeah.
And I said to my mum at the time, I said, I'm going to open all night. I'm going to be 24 hours. I'm going to do this new concept. I had no customers.
Yeah.
Nobody was coming to us. This is when, by the way, when 7-Eleven meant 7 a.m., closed at 11
11
p.m.
p.m. Yeah.
Okay. That's how old school I'm talking about, right?
Hmm.
And there was no customers, no customers. I was just dead. It was costing me keeping the lights on
Yeah.
and the gas and everything until one day, one customer comes in, spends $1, right? He buys a coffee and a sandwich,
Hmm.
and it was like 2 in the morning, and I'm the only person there. The whole streets are dead, and this guy shows up as a taxi driver. He said, "Hey, give me a sandwich and a tea," and he runs off.
All right.
And he ran into his taxi, and I was like, bloody hell, this guy he just came in, and what the hell's going on? So I asked him, I said, why did you run off? He said, I'm listening to Caesar the Geezer.
All
I said,
right.
who's Caesar the Geezer?
Uh-huh.
He said, it's the number one radio show.
Hmm.
I said, yeah, but it's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Hmm.
He said, yes, he has 1 million people listening right now
Hmm.
at this time.
All
I
right.
was like,
Wow.
1 million people are awake
Yeah.
and I'm open
Hmm.
and it's 2 a.m. I need to meet Caesar.
All right.
And at 16 years old, I tracked this dude down, whatever it takes. I need to meet Caesar. I
Okay.
got to him. I said, don't have money. I
Hmm.
have no customers, but I have food. And I know you're hungry.
Okay.
So what happens if I come and feed you every day and I'll feed you and your team? All I ask you is to let London know that I'm open.
All right.
And I went from around £2,000
Hmm.
a week of income,
All right.
opening day and night,
Hmm.
to £50,000
Wow.
a week
Yeah.
because of this microphone,
Word
for
of
the
mouth
power of
goes very far,
influence.
right?
So when I sit down and I see a microphone, that's why I said to you, I respect you. I
Hmm.
respect your platform because when I left school, I couldn't finish my education. and it was the microphone that changed my destiny. And I never knew that feeding a guy on the radio station
Hmm.
that had influence over a crowd
Yeah.
that would change my destiny to then helping and creating some of the biggest stars in pop culture history. I would have never imagined that when I was 16, when this one microphone. So I know the power of the microphone.
Yeah.
It can make, break, disrupt.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful tool.
I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it?
Of
Like
course.
that's what Ice Cube's gonna say.
100%, bro. That's what it's about.
And before we wrap up our interview, I always ask my guests if they have a personal message. What's yours?
My personal message is to people specifically from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Okay. That right now, whatever dream you have, whatever idea you have, whatever you want to do, right now, today, the most powerful people in this country, the Crown Prince and all the other rulers here,
Mhm.
have given you a platform to shine.
Yeah.
And the whole world is watching. You know, you have a dream. I want to go to America. I want to go to Hollywood. Let me tell you something. I'm from there. Okay. The whole world is watching Saudi Arabia right now. So if you have an idea, if you'll get backed, if it's a great idea, if you have talent, you can do collaborations. You
Yeah.
know, you literally have the biggest chance right now over the next, whatever, 5, 10, 20 years. This region is what we call before the American dream.
Uh-huh.
It's now become the Saudi
The
dream.
Saudi dream. I actually said that before in
Yeah.
one of my episodes, by
Yeah.
the way. You're stealing my lines.
It's the Saudi dream. So
Yeah.
my advice is, you know, don't listen to anyone. If you've really got it
Mhm.
and you think you have it and
All
you
right.
want to go global, that it's unbelievable. Me being American citizen from America, from Beverly Hills, from Hollywood, I'm telling you right now, the guy that works with the biggest studios, biggest streamers, biggest networks, biggest labels, biggest everything.
Mhm.
Everyone's watching Saudi Arabia right now.
All
So
right.
having an idea, having a talent, having something here,
Mhm.
now's your time. This is the time you get discovered. This is the time you get backed. This is the time where investors will bankroll you.
All right.
So now's your time.
All right. Fair enough. That's some good advice. And I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to be in our studios. And before we wrap up, I guess the moral of today's episode is be loud, be proud, never follow a crowd. See you later.